Hello, my beautiful Geminis. Welcome to Dawn Williams Tarot. This message is for sun, moon, or rising signs in the sign of Gemini. So if you have those placements, this message may be for you. However, do keep in mind that this is a general reading. And if you would like to do a deeper dive on what's going on with you and your soul path, I have details below in the description box. That gives you information as to how you can find me. Or you can go to dawnwilliamstarot.com and all my details are there, okay? So today I'm doing your reading for the month of March 2024. I did do a pre-read and I did do meditation prior to sitting down to do this reading. So I will read you those messages and then I'm going to lay out your cards. I'll take myself off camera so you can just look at the cards and focus on those. And then when I finish this part of your reading, I'll put myself back on camera and I'm going to give you your 5 main themes, okay? And that's typically what I typically do on these types of readings. These 5 main themes are either additional messages for you specifically from Spirit, or they kind of tie the reading all together and so that we can complete the reading so that it feels as though you've gotten all the info Spirit wants you to have so that you are ready for March, okay? So to start off with, we start out here, Gemini, with the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is a card of completion. And the wands have to do with our inspiration, our creativity, passions, and those types of things. He actually planted these wands and now he's bringing in his harvest, right? So he's very close to his home. He's going to be able to put down this heavy burden. So for some of you, you may be feeling as though you're carrying heavy burdens at this time, although it feels as though that's coming to completion. And the reason why I say that is because your next card is the Wheel of Fortune. So even though you might have been going through a tough time, maybe through the month of January, February, or it could even go back as far back as, October, November, December, those were tough months as well. And if you had a lot of major arcanas in those months, it could be feeling as though you're ready to put down some of this heavy stuff, right? So the Wheel of Fortune is saying that luck is on your side. The good fortunes will be coming in. Whatever it is that has been holding you back is going to be released, and you will be making steps forward. You are going to be evolving. You're going to be progressing. And it's a major arcana card, so this is definitely going to happen. And then your next card was the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a card of a new direction or a new way of looking at things. I really feel as though whatever this heavy burden is may have also been heavy on your heart. And basically what this is saying is it's going to be releasing that energy up and out of you so that you can look at things from a new perspective and allow that heart space to really just feel comfortable and relaxed. You're not really having to hold yourself in or hold in your thoughts or those types of things. This is like a new opportunity coming in for your heart space. So it could be also a mentorship. Maybe you're going to be mentoring someone that's younger than you are, or it could be messages coming in that you're waiting for in terms of being recognized for on some level from somebody who loves you, right? So, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big or because it is a minor arcana, but it could be also that you've been waiting for a message for quite a long time and something comes in and you get a card in the mail or congratulations in the mail or a thank you or something like that, right? It's just kind of like changing that energy from this kind of heavy burden to now your heart is going to be feeling a lot better. It's kind of what I picked up from this part of the reading so far. Okay, so I've shuffled your cards because I was trying to save time. So now what I'm going to do, Gemini, is I'm going to go ahead and just lay your cards out. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. She's a good card. 5 of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Ooh, the Death card in the center here. Nine of Swords, which is actually representative of your air Gemini energy. Two of Cups. Whoa. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. These two are big, as you know, Death card, Tower card. Let's not freak out yet. Let's see how it flows. Knight of Cups and the Hangman. Okay. So let's see. Well, the Swords energy absolutely does represent your Gemini energy. Mostly this 9, because I think it's 8, 9, 10 of Swords. We don't have the Lovers and we don't have the Magician. Okay. So we have Pentacles, Swords, Pentacles, Cup. And the only wands you really had was your 10 of Wands in the beginning. Okay. Okay, Spirit, you're gonna have to help me with this one. Okay, so our first card is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is an earth energy. Queens are about patience and understanding, so it doesn't necessarily have to represent feminine, or no, it doesn't necessarily have to represent a female. It just represents the feminine energy itself. And this queen is a healer. She is naturally a grounder, so she could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. She's very kind, very wise, very loving, very nurturing, very motherly. She's got all that motherly, nurturing kind of energy about her. She is one that will create her own wealth. She does like to stand on her own. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of describing myself here because I represent this Queen of Pentacles myself, but because I'm a Taurus, just so you know. Okay. And so she's either somebody that's going to come in and is going to befriend you. She's going to be a mentor for you. She could be somebody that you work with. This could be your significant other. Somehow or another, she's going to be impactful for you for this month of March. Now, from the readings, I will say off the bat, and especially because we do have these two very interesting cards here, that the readings are coming through as though March is going to be a big month. I don't really understand how, but I feel like it's on a higher level in terms of not just for the signs, but for the whole collective, for the planet. So I feel as though some big things are coming in that month. And because of that, it may be also affecting everyone's reading. So just be aware of that energy. Then we have the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords to me is a card of changes coming in. This is saying that you may be changing the way that you think about something. This could be belief systems that are going to be changing for you. You're going to be seeing things in a different way. And it's kind of like one of those things where you may find yourself pulling back a little bit so that you can think things through. Because you as an air sign, you as a Gemini, your mind normally just works at that level, right? So you're constantly evaluating and you're constantly looking at things and you're putting things in your little buckets and all the stuff so that you can make sense of things. And I feel as though something's going to be coming in this month that is going to really make you look at your life a little differently. So just be aware that that energy is there. It is a change to your normal routine, but I don't feel as though it's like, you know, anything overwhelming in terms of that. But it could very well be associated with this Death and this Tower card. We'll see how this progresses. We have the Four of Pentacles here. The Four of Pentacles to me is a card of looking for financial stability, or looking, possibly some of you may be looking for a new job or a new role that you feel as though you're not being appreciated, so you want to go do something different, or you're bored, right? This is a card of stagnation as well. So some of you may be feeling very bored in your job and you want to go find something else. And the guidance that I'm hearing Spirit say, thank you very much, is that before you go anywhere, make sure that that job is secure. You don't want to give notice until you have a letter in hand or you have an offer in hand before you give notice, because it feels as though there's going to be a lot of shifts in terms of employment and businesses, and that could very well be what this Tower and this Death card is representing for you coming into the month of March. Because it feels as though it's more of a planetary thing or a more of a collective type of an energy, more than just a Gemini, your day-to-day grind, okay? But this Four of Pentacles, as you can see, she's really hanging on to her finances. And so maybe some of you are looking at possibly diversifying your portfolio or looking at different options as to what you can do with your 401k. And that could also be part of this Queen of Pentacles here, because she is a money queen, right? She knows how to do money. She could be somebody that you would go to and ask those types of questions about. So she could be like a financial planner. She could be, somebody that deals with 401k, or somebody that, you're going to have to figure out money situations with. So she could be a person that is coming in for you, as the only other person that I'm seeing here is this Knight of Cups, which is about love. Okay. So that's where we are with this Four of Pentacles. The other thing about this four I'm picking up is that, thank you, Spirit. The other thing that I'm picking up about the four is that if you're hanging on really tightly to your money, it's like anything else that you squeeze the energy out of. So I got the vision of a hose, a water hose. When you were a kid, I don't know if this happened to you when you were a kid, but we used to go out and play outside all day long when I was growing up. And we used to have to drink water out of the water hose. Like, we weren't allowed to go in the house. We were supposed to stay outside and play, which seems a little odd now, right? When you think of how, we really coddle our children now. But back in the day, if you crimped the hose, you could actually turn the water would be on, and if you crimped the hose, it would stop the flow of water. And that was the vision that Spirit just gave me, was that you have to be careful, because energy or money is an energy. It's just like any other energy, and you really have to look at what your thoughts are surrounding money. What does money mean to you? Do you, because if you look at this card, she's got her money all like right here, blocking off her chest. And so I think that's why I was getting the vision of the hose being crimped, was that if you don't allow the flow to go, if you don't allow the flow to keep moving, it is going to get stagnant, and you're hurting yourself more than anything else. So even if it is a thing where maybe you could do things with people or incorporate things into your lifetime that doesn't necessarily cost money to do. It can be an energy exchange of some kind. So just keep that in mind, okay? And then as we get more into the center of your reading, we do have this Death card here, Death and Rebirth. Now, it doesn't necessarily, please don't take it as there's going to be a death, somebody's dying. It does, rarely does it mean that. I mean, it can happen. So I'm not going to say it never happens, but it's more of a death of a way of thinking, a death of a way of being. It's more of a death to your old self. So one of the things that happens when these cards are coming up, and as we are transitioning more and more into the year of 2024, I do feel as though that death has to do with your old way of life. So if you really did a lot of work, or you really kind of struggled and were working on things in the month of October, November, December of last year, and maybe even January, what happens is, as you're working on your spiritual path and you're looking at those things that may have been holding you back, then that definitely is an opportunity for you to be able to heal those things. And then and you're constantly retransforming yourself. And that's kind of how I see this card, is that some of you have gone through a rebirth process. Some of you are like brand new people. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. We go through the death and rebirth process quite often. Many times during the year, we will go through this energy. This is not a one-off, right? This happens multiple times through a year, depending on the changes within your life. So don't look at this as a scary card. Basically, what it is saying is that you have been doing the work and now you are starting fresh, you're starting over. And I feel like that's what this confirmation with this Wheel of Fortune is talking about as well. It's confirming that the death of the old you and the rebirth of the new you now is an opportunity for you to really step into your sovereignty, step into your power, step into your knowing, your knowledge, those types of things, okay? In the very center, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, typically, this is a card about nightmares, like your mind is never shutting down and your thoughts are always racing all the time, self-inflicted. Sometimes these are the stories that you tell others because swords have to do with our communication. So if you've had bad experiences in your life, if you've had things that you feel have defined you as a person, Spirit is really saying we need to change our stories, heal those parts of you so that you don't have to keep bringing that stuff back in for you to feel over and over and over again. And the only way you can do it is by, changing the way that you think about your stories. And that's kind of what this energy represents. Now, some of you may have already done a lot of that work, which is how we got to this rebirth portion of you. New things may be coming in. There is going to be a lot more information coming out that in the month of March that is going to really give a lot of people a lot of things to think about. So it could be those types of racing thoughts as well. But mainly I feel as though this is more you being in the center of this reading and that you are representative here of this Nine of Swords. And then we have this beautiful Two of Cups. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Two of Cups to me is all about soulmates, soul tribe. Two beautiful energies coming together, really connecting on that soul level. This could be friendships. This could be family members. This could be love relationships as well, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not limited to just this love connection, right? Now, for some of you, it may very well be the love connection. For others of you, it just may be a new friend comes into your life and you recognize and realize this is part of your soul tribe and it's a beautiful experience. Twos are about choices. So you have a choice here. And if you look at the cups, both of the cups are full. So these people that are coming together are solid and complete within themselves. And they're coming towards you with this energy of, I'm good, I'm healed, I am ready to have this beautiful experience. And it's kind of like two equals, right? Two equals coming together. And so that's kind of this energy. To me, it is a blessing. You can see the gold in the background as well as some of the other hues. But the beautiful thing is that connection. So this is a very strong card of connection. Now, as we move towards the later part of March, this Tower card comes in. Some of you have already gone through some Tower moments already because October, November, December, and January had their levels of extremes. A Tower moment is when something comes in unexpected, feels like the rug's being pulled out from underneath you, and you're going, wow, I wasn't expecting this. These are things that you're not expecting to come forward, and they really, really rattle you. It is an extreme kind of an energy. But as I was picking up at the beginning of the reading, I feel this is more on a very higher collective level. So I feel as though depending on where you live in the world is how it may affect you either extremely, depending on where you live. Look at all the stuff that's been happening with all the farmers and war, and there's all kinds of stuff, right? But at the same time, the thing about the Tower card is that if you've been doing your spiritual work and you have been working through your dark nights of the soul, looking at those things that have prevented you from moving forward, for stepping into your sovereignty, a lot of times what that is saying is that, okay, so you've removed all of the blocks that you've put there, right? You've built this tower for yourself. You've put the walls around you, and now something has come in and has shaped your foundations all the way down to the foundation. And now you get an opportunity to rebuild, right? You get an opportunity to start over. You get an opportunity to do this rebirth. And how are you going to rebuild your universe? That's kind of what this energy represents to me. The other thing about it is, you do have this Two of Cups here, and we do have this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a person that is going to come in, and this is like a chivalrous type of person. They believe in romance. They believe in wearing their heart on their sleeve. They believe in, picket fences and the beautiful life, and, bringing their girl roses, and, exchanging love notes and those kinds of things, right? So some of you may be getting into new relationships. And it very well could be that the person coming in is a soulmate for you. And the thing that this is saying, though, is that you will be able to trust this person. You will be able to open up your heart to this person. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be romantic, and it's going to be different, especially if you have been single for a long time. Maybe some of you have had some bad relationships, and that's part of what that whole healing process is for you. But then again, okay, because we do have this Cups card here too as well. So I feel like some of you are really going to be starting new relationships. But then at the very end of your reading here, we have the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is another major arcana. And this card really is a card about looking at things in a completely new way. It's kind of like cleaning the slate and saying, let's start over, and let's use all of our new ideas. Let's get all this new awareness on the table. This card is a card of delay. So if you have been working through some of these things, it feels as though until you have this epiphany, or until you have this awakening of sorts, until you see things in a new way, until you are allowed to release whatever the monkey brain is for some of you, and changing the way that you think about things. Because I feel like this whole reading is about you looking at life in a completely new way and recognizing your contribution and your position in this new reality. The Hanged Man is definitely a card of, this delay being out of your control. Spirit is really kind of telling you that you're going to have to look at things in a way that you've never looked at things before. And I feel as though it's going to be quite enlightening for you. And it's going to be different for all of you. So overall, even though you do have kind of these challenging cards here, I still feel very uplifted. I feel as though many of you will be putting this heavy burden down so that you can be doing some more of this work to clear and rebirth yourselves. Some of you have already done that work. So some of you are further along than others. And as this is a general reading, I'm kind of picking up pieces of here and there and trying to put it all together. So if you have questions about any of this, specifically this reading, because this is a pretty heavy reading, reach out to me. I'll be happy to, sit down with you and talk a little bit more to see how it's going to affect you. So look at my details about that. Okay. Okay. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the 5 main things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to close out your reading. Your first card is the skull. It says hidden secrets can harm you. And wasn't we talking about that? I was talking about that with this Five of Swords, that things are going to be coming in. You're going to be looking at things in a different way, but you may be pulling back so that you can figure things out, put them in the buckets that make sense to you before you share with others. That's kind of what I mean by that, right? Okay. I was waiting to see if there was any more messages, but there isn't. And then we have a well. Family wishes come true. That's beautiful. Wait, let's get this in. Family wishes come true. Happiness. Yay! Psychic ability. Trust your intuition. That's a great card. And pale. Time to get out of a situation. And of course, that's going to mean something to each of you as well. Okay, Gemini, I hope you found some nuggets here that are going to help you. It's a big month for you. Actually, it's a big month for everybody. So like and subscribe. And until next time, take very good care of you. Cheers.